Guys just recently came back from an overseas trip. Now you're going back off over there very shortly after a little few runs here in Australia, especially at Warrnambool, Adelaide. You're going to the loft. You guys must be really looking forward to all the hard work that you've been putting back into the music.
Yeah, it's been good, man. We've been having a really good time, and it's been a busy start to the year. I mean, I guess you just sort of got to take it as it comes when you're playing, you know, when you're doing the band thing and touring overseas and stuff, and you never kind of know what's going to come up, especially as, I mean, I guess we're kind of established here in Australia, but overseas we've got a little bit more sort of work to do in terms of you know, becoming an established and more sort of consistent touring act over there. But I think the start of this year has been really good. You know, we went out with Soulfly in Europe, and we did about 36 shows with them all through Europe, and then we came home and we did some stuff in Australia, and it all went really well. And then we went back to North America and did another sort of 40-odd shows with Voivod, and that went really well. So, yeah, we've just sort of been having a bit of a break the last couple of months since we got back from that tour. Our drummer Toddy's had a bit of a shoulder injury that we thought would be, you know, a good idea for him to just have a bit of a rest and get it back to sort of, you know, premium sort of condition so we can continue touring for the rest of the year. And we've got obviously these 4 shows coming up in the next couple of weeks. We've got Warrnambool, Adelaide, and Belgrave and Bendigo, which, you know, Belgrave and Bendigo are 2 places we've never played before, so it should be interesting, see how they go, and Warrnambool's always pretty cool. We always try and go there on the way over to Adelaide. So, yeah, but then we've got a big European tour obviously coming up later in the year with Obituary and Exodus and Prong. So, yeah, it's an exciting time for the band, and, you know, we're just still pretty stoked and happy that we get the opportunity to do all this touring. It's really cool.
And it's good to see not just King Parrot, but I know Mason are going overseas to do Annihilator. I know Desecrator's going back overseas very shortly, very, very soon as well. It's all happening here, and it's such a great thing that Australian music, especially the metal scene, it is flourishing overseas as well.
It's good to see, man. There's a lot of Aussie bands getting some tours and getting out there and being sort of exposed to a broader audience. So, yeah, it is really cool to see some of our friends' bands doing the same sort of thing as what we've been doing for the last few years, and getting their foot in the door. And yeah, there's certainly a lot of great talent here in Australia, and it's something that I guess we really need to, you know, kind of celebrate and support a little bit more. And it would be great to see, you know, some of our Aussie bands starting to get the same sort of numbers and turnouts as what the big international bands get, because there's no reason why they shouldn't, you know. And the quality of and the depth in the Australian music scene is really impressive, and it kind of sucks that we're so far away from the rest of the world, but you just got to try and make the best of it, you know, and keep putting your best foot forward, and hoping that the opportunities come up. And luckily for us, we've had a lot of great opportunities, and I hope to see the same for many other Aussie bands too. Yeah,
you're talking about the broader audience overseas. I want to ask a question. With these bands that you have been playing with overseas, like you've been going again to play with Exodus, do you think if they started out now at a young age, say early teenhoods or late teenhoods, like 17, 18, do you think they'll have the same problem as many bands around the world is at the moment trying to get that exposure? Or do you think due to the social media that we have got now, will be a little bit easier for them now to get that exposure?
Yeah, it's a tough question, man. I think I don't know. It's kind of it's a different time now, and
Yeah.
it is. I think there's, as opposed to what it kind of used to be like, when there would be like a bunch of bands that would get big and whatnot. And to me now, it sort of seems like there's lots more bands that are sort of not quite as big, but sort of doing it on a sort of successful kind of level. So whether it would be harder or easier or whatnot, I don't really know. But look, to me, there's still a shitload of hard work that goes into, you know, getting it to a stage of where, you know, where a band like King Parrot is at the moment. So I guess it all comes down to sort of many different factors, and record labels and how much money that they're prepared to invest in the bands and what they're prepared to do, and you know, there's so many different things to factor in that you just it's kind of hard to say. But one thing I do know for sure is that nothing works better than, you know, persistence and hard work, dedication, and a great work ethic, and that is something that probably hasn't changed. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, you know, how many more, you know, like big bands there's going to be, and I guess for us, it's not really that important. Just being able to do it successfully and trying to build it a little bit further than what we have, and keep pushing it that little extra bit more, and trying to improve and all those things. That's what's important to us, and hopefully the fan base and everything continues to grow as well, so it makes it a little bit more easy for us to exist, because it is, you know, it is a challenge to make ends meet and stuff when you're sort of flying around the world with 5 dudes or 6 dudes or 7 dudes, however many crew we're taking with us at the moment, and trying to make it work, you know, trying to make things add up financially. It's a challenge, but we're doing okay at the moment, and we're just really looking forward to you know, getting back in the studio this month, finish writing the new album, and hopefully we're going to have a new record out next year as well. So that'll be an exciting time for everyone as well.
Is that a scoop?
Well,
it's
no secret, but look, I haven't sort of been saying it too much, but we started writing the new record in January. And we've been on tour a lot in the first half of the year. We've done 3 tours already, so we had these last couple of months off so Toddy could get his shoulder right, and I've been writing some lyrics, and the other guys are been writing the riffs and writing some more stuff. We've already got probably half the album written, and then I think over the next probably 2-3 weeks, while we're we've blocked out some time in the studio just to write, and we're going to do some demos and stuff at the end of September before we head over to Europe. So it's an exciting time for us, and we're really looking forward to getting these new songs down, and we think it's probably going to be the most sort of in your face and nasty material that King Parrot's written so far. So it's going to be cool, man. We're excited about it.
Yeah.
And we'll probably play a few of them live as well, so in these next few shows.
Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of talks over the years since I got into King Parrot and into Blood, Sweat and Metal, how I won't go into too much detail, but you have gave up drinking, because I remember first meeting you for New Dead 2 years ago here in Adelaide. Do you want me to buy you a drink? And you told me that you don't drink anymore. Well, I want to go a little bit personal with myself. I've stopped taking drugs 16, 17 years ago, and I have not take one step backwards. I want to ask you personally, and you don't have to ask if you don't want to. Do you find yourself since stopping and stopping drinking has made you become a better magician or a better workman or whatever? Because I know there's a lot of people in the music industry that it takes them a while to kick the habit. They have so many chances to kick the habit, whether it's drugs, alcohol, what have you. But for you personally, do you look back at it where you came from to now and say, man, I have achieved this, I've achieved that, I've been overseas 10 times fold, and it has made me a better person?
Oh, absolutely, man. It's I'm coming up to almost 5 years in October. End of October, I'll be 5 years clean and sober. And that was a big decision for me. I wasn't in a very good place back then, and I wasn't happy with the way that my life was going. And I guess one thing that's very, very different for me is that, I mean, I've always played music, I've always played in bands and always been around the Melbourne music scene, and wasn't really able to achieve what I wanted to achieve in terms of touring on the sort of level that King Parrot is. And so I guess what having a bit of a clearer mind and a clearer head enabled me to do is take on the business side of the band a little bit more and dedicate more time to that, as opposed to sitting around being hungover or coming down or feeling like crap, and wasting my days and wasting my time. And I'd still always be able to go and play the gigs and play the music, because that's the fun part.
Yeah.
But what I have come to realise is the fun part is the fun part, and I love that bit, and that's always been a very important thing to me. But if you're going to do this on a more serious kind of level, then you really have to take on the business as well. And the business side of it, making sure that there's the finances and the funds and all those sorts of things there to pay for your overseas adventures. And if you can't do that, then and I wasn't able to do that while I was drinking and using drugs. So now I can, and it hasn't been easy, and it's challenging, and it's kind of hard going out on tour with all these bands and people in the audience and stuff, offering you drinks or drugs or whatever, or pretty much every day. It's certainly not easy, but it's I know why I don't do it. I'm not under any illusions. I don't really feel like I want to go back to it.
Yeah.
And I feel much better in myself, and I know that I don't have to hide anything anymore. I don't have to sneak around behind people's backs anymore. I don't have to do any of that sort of shit, And when I was drinking and using drugs, that's what I used to do.
Yep.
And that's what you do when you're using and carrying on in that fashion. So I don't have to do that anymore, and I don't have anything to hide anymore. So that's a huge, burden off my shoulders that I don't have to worry about anymore. So really wouldn't change it for the world. For me, it's been probably one of the best things I ever did, and it's enabled me to sort of do the things that I dreamt of doing when I was a teenager, and going out and seeing the world and playing shows and sharing the stage with my favourite bands and musicians, and just doing it, And before, while I was using, it wasn't possible. So that's the proof's in the pudding for me,
Yeah. I remember celebrating my 21st birthday at a rehab.
Yeah, right.
And that was eye-opening. I can talk about it. The reason why I'm down this track, because last Friday I had to help my friend, and he gave me a text message at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He said, "Can you come around? We'll have a couple of drinks. I'm a bit bored, blah, blah, blah." Now, yes, I still drink, but not to the equivalent when I was before I went to rehab. I can have a couple and I know when to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked into his house. I knew he was messed up completely before I walked in there. We took him out because I knew that if he was staying at home, he was going to harm himself physically. Well, lo and behold, Saturday came around and I got a text message that said, "Thank you for taking me out of the house because I would have done something stupid." Now he's going into an AA rehab, and going to AA meetings. So looks like my recovery is polishing off somebody else to do their recovery. So it may work, it may not. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, man, that's the thing. I guess when you take care of things for yourself, you know, it enables you to be able to assist others that may be in a similar situation. And I really do hope your friend gets well and gets the help that he needs. And I think that's one of the biggest things is being able to sort of put your hand up and say, yeah, I need to get some help. And
Yeah.
I get several messages a week of different people talking about exactly what we're talking about right now, and because they know that I've gotten clean and sober, you know, and I talk to them about it, and try and help them out if I can, you know.
Exactly.
If one little thing you say might help.
Exactly. And that's what comes back to. What goes around comes around, and I see a lot of open doors. I mean, a lot of windows and doors of opportunity have shut on my life over the course of my recovery, but the last 6 years have probably been the best 6 years of my life because I've managed to do what I said to do. And the old saying goes in recovery, you can't bullshit a bullshit artist. So there's no point in bullshitting anyone because most of the time you're only bullshitting yourself. So you just got to keep doing it one day at a time. And that's my new addiction, talking about music, talking to people that have got the same type of story that I have. We all got a testimony, and I think we all need to talk about it in a certain way, not too much, but in a certain way.
I agree, man. It's very true words, very true.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to King Parrot because you guys are working your butt off. You got nominated just recently over the last 18 months for an ARIA award. You didn't get it, of course, but who cares? You're there, you had the free ride, you got the red carpet treatment and all that, but then the hard work still pays off. You go overseas, you come back, you're doing this little round, and especially, once again, you're coming around for New Dead this Saturday here in Adelaide. We want to talk about that because the last time you were here for New Dead, that was a show of all shows. There was shit thrown around, there was a mall of death, there was cardboard boxes, drink crates getting thrown around. It was absolutely awesome. So, what do we expect this time around?
Exactly the same.
I hope so.
Exactly the same, but worse, hopefully. No, look, I think you know, we just try and be consistent with the way that we perform, and you know, we've had a couple of months off now, so we're sort of a little bit out of practice. So we're looking forward to get back in the studio this week, and sharpening it up and getting ready to perform for you guys. It's going to be fun. But yeah, it's always great coming over to Adelaide. I think the lineup that the Truth Parrot boys have put together for the show this year is incredible. I think it's a really great lineup, some of the best Australian bands, and it's a real testament to the scene there. And I really do hope that they get the best numbers that they've ever had, because it's looking like that anyway, because they've sold more pre-sales, I believe, for this New Dead than any of the others that they've had before. So it'd be really great if the Adelaide metal community came out full force and supported all the bands and got right behind it, because it is important, you know. It's great, you know, to go and see all your internationals and all that, and I get all that as well, but it's really important to sort of support the Australian bands, and to me that's where you find the true metalheads and the true people that are really about the music is at the local shows and the people that are getting behind the local bands. So it's great that we can have a awesome festival like this in Adelaide. That, you know, it is often getting left off the touring radar for a lot of bands now, which is a real shame, but it's great that we can pull something like this together with the Truth Parrot boys, who are legends of the Aussie metal scene, and have a great celebration of Aussie metal. So I hope we can see as many people down there as possible on
Exactly, and I want to plug this band, and I've been plugging them for a while. It's Headball. They released a new album called The Grey. They're yet to do a massive headliner support act, and I really am pushing them. These guys will be playing early Saturday afternoon at New Dead as well, so if you get there early, fans, please check them out. This is a band that needs a support act. I don't know who makes the rules or regulation with the touring promoters, but Headball is one of the bands here in Adelaide who are yet to get a major support act on a national, not just a national tour, but just for an Adelaide show, because this last album, The Grey, that they recorded, absolutely fantastic. It's a breath of fresh air. And with the Truth Corroded boys, well, they've been going around for 20 odd years, and they've got a new album coming out. Well, they're working on a new album, and that. So, who knows what the opportunities may come? And you're right about supporting the live metal scene here in Australia. I've created so many friendships over the last 4 years since I've done the podcast, and I can walk down to a gig and I can get recognised. Before that, they don't want to know who the hell you were. But, you know, I'm not there for popularity. I'm there to promote these bands like yourself and everybody else. I get no money for this. I do it off the back of my own income and my own resources. But I think we need more of this, because the more ears to listen to this type of music and support, the bigger you guys and the more stuff that you come back to you guys, because that's what it's all about. Getting the fans listening to the new stuff. They go out and buy your merchandise or see you at a gig like New Dead or up at Warrnambool or whatever, and it's more money back into the community.
Absolutely, man. I couldn't agree with you more on that.
Yeah. Well, Matt, is there one last thing you'd like to say before we wrap it up? Because I cannot wait to see you again this Saturday, man.
It's going to be awesome, man. We're really looking forward to coming back to Adelaide. It's our only Adelaide show for the year. And, we will have done, I think, after these 4 Aussie shows, and we get over to Europe in October and November with Obituary and Exodus. It'll be 3 big sort of international tours that we've done. They're all kind of been 5 or 6 weeks long each, so it's been a bit of a, it's been a little bit probably quieter for us this year, but that's kind of cool as well. We've been able to do Europe twice, which is important to us, and we've got some more new big news coming along the way, and maybe a national Aussie tour for the summer, which will be coming up hopefully in February. We're kind of planning something, so hasn't been announced yet, but we're just sort of hinting at that at the moment, because it's looking like it's pretty close to being announced. And then, I'm just stoked to be doing some new tunes and writing some new stuff, being creative again. With new tunes always means new videos and new album, new merch, and all that stuff. So it's an exciting time, and we're really keen to get back out into the studio and start recording again, because that's always one of my favourite things. But in the meantime, we've got these shows coming up this weekend. We really appreciate your support, man. It's been great, and make sure you come and say hi at the New Dead on Saturday night at Bowers. And I've got no doubt in my mind it's going to be an absolutely awesome night.
It will be. All right, man. Well, you take care, look after yourself, and we can't wait till Saturday to see you ripping the stage apart like you always do.
Thank you, brother. Cheers for your support, man. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Take care, man.
See you, mate.
Come on.